rights activist and Free Nnamdi Kanu now campaigner, Omoyele Sowore, has been rearrested by the Nigerian police. Hi, welcome to What's Happening. These are our top 10 stories countdown today. At number 10. Women in Australia's Defence Forces launched a class action lawsuit Friday, alleging widespread and systematic sexual violence, harassment and discrimination. The case was served against the Australian government on behalf of women subjected to abuse at any time in a 21-year period between November 2003 and May 2025. The case, lodged at a federal court in Sydney, is being pursued on an opt-out basis, meaning all women serving during that time are included unless they declare they have not suffered from the alleged abuse. At number 9. Remo stars have confirmed that midfielder Tochukwu Michael has completed a move to Austrian Bundesliga side Wolfsberger AC, marking the latest step in the young Nigerian's rise through the ranks of domestic and international football, Punch Sport Extra reports. The Ikene-based club announced that an agreement in principle had been reached with Wolfsberger, thanking the 21-year-old for his service and wishing him success in Europe. At number 8, the European Union said that its flagship Horizon Europe program, a nearly €100 billion initiative that funds research and innovation across continents, was open to Nigerian researchers. The EU ambassador to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Gautier Mignot, said this at the University of Lagos' 18th Annual Research Conference, where he underscored the role of research in driving inclusive and transformative progress. At number 7, Borno State Governor Babangana Zulum has expressed a shock over the use of drones by Boko Haram terrorists to attack soldiers, saying that despite well-circulated intelligence that the Mafa area of the state would be attacked, troops could not prevent it from happening. Zulum disclosed this on Friday in Mafa town when he paid a post-assessment visit to areas attacked by Boko Haram in the early hours of Thursday. At number 6, the National Governors Forum has pledged its full support for the bill seeking reserved seats for women in Nigeria's legislature. In a statement issued at the end of their meeting in the early hours of Friday, the governors urged members to actively lobby both federal and state lawmakers to ensure the passage of the proposed legislation, which aims to increase women's representation in political office. The bill, scheduled for a vote at the National Assembly, seeks to amend the 1999 Constitution. At number 5, the House of Representatives has passed for second reading a bill seeking to amend the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission Establishment Act 2004 to confer institutional independence on the Anti-Corruption Agency. The resolution of the House followed the consideration of a bill sponsored by Plateau State lawmaker Yusuf Gagidi, leading the debate on the general principles of the bill at a session presided over by the Deputy Speaker, Benjamin Kalu. Gagdi said the amendment aims to modernize the EFCC's legal framework to enable it to respond to the multi-layered pattern of financial and economic crimes across the country. At number 4, communities hosting the Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic Ikot Osura in Ikot Ekpene local government area of the state have urged Governor Umu Eno to ensure fairness and equity in the appointment of a new rector for the institution. The youth leader of the host communities, Mr. Ekikere Iko, expressed concern about what he described as an emerging imbalance in the leadership structure of the Polytechnic. At number 3, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Wike, has stated that he will not appear as a witness in the trial of Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, simply because his name was listed in the newspapers. However, Wike emphasized that if the courts formally summons him to testify or provide evidence, he will comply without hesitation. The minister made the remarks during a media parley in Abuja on Friday, stating that nobody has served him any process to appear as Kanu's witness in court. At number 2, the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has failed to open his defense in his ongoing alleged terrorism trial before a federal high court in Abuja. Kanu said he could not open his defense because he has not been handed the case file to enable him to familiarize himself with its content to enable him adequately prepare for his defense. At number 1, human rights activist and Free Nnamdi Kanu now campaigner Omoyele Sowore has been rearrested by the Nigerian police shortly after his court appearance at the Kuje Magistrate Court on Friday. Sowore, alongside Nnamdi Kanu's brother, Prince Emmanuel Kanu, a former member of Kanu's legal team, and 10 others, had earlier met their bail conditions. The court granted them bail in the sum of 500,000 naira each, with 2 sureties residing in the Federal Capital Territory and possessing valid identification and 3 years of tax clearance. That's all for today. See you next time on What's Happening.